Hi guys, today we're going to work on Excel Chapter 3, the guided project. So I'm going to click on the Excel Chapter 3 tile, and then I'm going to find the guided project, which is 3.3. I can see that there's only a start file, so I click on the start file and then save it to wherever you save your files to. So I save mine to my SS folder, so that's where I'm going to save mine to. All right, what I can see here before we even start is I've got two tabs. I've got a revenue by department tab and I've got an Atlanta revenue tab. All of the data is filled in. If I just click on the total, which is in cell B19, I can see that this is a formula. So formulas have already been put in for us. Same thing with the Atlanta review. Here I've got totals on the right, column F. So I've already got the formulas in here. In Chapter 2 in Excel, you learned how to do formulas. So today we're just going to kind of learn how to use this stuff and start to make some visuals, which makes sense. So step 2, it says be on the revenue by department tab and select cells A4 through F4, which are all of these column headings here through total. Do not select total, so just department through St. Louis. Now I want to select line 13, the Gulf line. But in order to select two columns that don't touch each other, I have to press and hold my control key down on my keyboard. With the control key being held down, I can click and drag and select the same cells in row 13, Gulf through 1250. Now, when you release, make sure you release your mouse button first and then your control button, because if you release the control button first, it will only select that line 13. Everything you selected in line 4 will be gone. Now, once you do that, I want you to go to your Insert tab, and there is a whole middle part right here that is for charts and graphs. So I'm going to click on Recommended Charts. This is going to kind of guide me with the charts that it thinks that I should use. I want to do a pie chart, which is the second one down right here, and I want to click OK. Now it puts this pie chart in for me, but I can see two new tabs popped up. A Chart Tools Design tab and a Chart Tools Format tab. So everything that I need to do with the chart is here. Now what I can see is the title of my chart is Gulf. So it kind of figured out that's what I want my chart to be about. And each different color pie piece, so I'm going to move this over, is a different place. So Atlanta is blue. And I can see Atlanta is a pretty big number, but the purple number is bigger. So it starts to put this number stuff into visuals. Step 3. It says select the chart object. I'm already selected on it because there's bubbles on the outside of it. These are called handles. And then it tells me to go to the Chart Tools Design tab and to click the More button, which is in the chart styles. So I pull this down and I'm going to choose style 12, which is the last one. Now the colors and everything stay the same. It just puts a little shading in so it looks a little bit more 3D. Step 4, it says point to the chart object to border to display and the move pointer. The move pointer is the 4-sided arrow. It says to drag this with the 4-sided arrow. So I'm just right on the border. So the top of the chart is in A21. Well, I'm going to kind of scroll down first so I can see that a little bit better. I'm going to grab the 4-sided arrow and I'm going to put the top left corner in A21. Now I'm going to scroll down a little bit farther, so I'm going to click off of my chart just so I can scroll down, and then I'm going to click back on my chart. It tells me to grab the handle, so I'm going to grab the bottom handle on the right side, and it tells me to drag this to G35. So I'm just going to kind of move this so it ends in G35 someplace. So I just made my chart a little bit bigger. Step 5, it says to change the chart type. Well, in my Chart Tool Design tab, in the Type group, there's a button that says Change Chart Type. I'm going to click on this. Currently, I've got a pie chart. I want to change it, and if you don't have this All Charts tab open, click on the All Charts. I want to change this, keep it as a pie chart, but on the top, the second option over is a 3D pie chart, which is kind of going to tip it and make it look like a disc. Click OK, and now you've got a 3D pie chart. Step 6, it says double click the pie to open the format data series. So I'm just going to double click anywhere on the pie, okay, and I'm going to do it again so you guys can see it. I'm going to click off, click anywhere off, and then I'm going to just double click anywhere on this pie chart, and you have to click quickly. This panel on the right pops up, and this is going to allow me to change some things with my chart. So step B says click the Atlanta slice. Atlanta is blue. Now currently I'm selected on the whole chart because if you guys see, I've got bubbles around every single pie piece. I only want the bubbles to be around the Atlanta pie piece, so I'm going to click on the Atlanta pie piece. And now I simply just have 3 bubbles right around the Atlanta pie piece. So I'm only on Atlanta. Step C says click the series option button in the format data point. So series option button. Okay, hold on. Click the Atlanta, click the series option button in the format data point and set the pie explosion at 15%. So currently I'm at this series option, which is this little bar button, and I'm going to do a point explosion of 10%, and I'm going to click OK. So when I explode a pie piece, it actually pulls it away from the rest of the chart. The higher the number, the farther away it goes. Step E says close this format data point. So I'm going to close it and then click the chart object border to deselect Atlanta. So when I do that, I'm just going to, with a 4-sided arrow, click on the outside of the chart, and that way those bubbles go away from the Atlanta pie piece. Going to move on. Step number 7. It says to add chart elements. So I'm going to click on the chart elements button. So I am in the design tab, Chart Tools Design, and there is a button here that says add chart elements. So here you can put things into your chart. I am going to start with data labels. So I'm just going to mouse over. Currently, I don't have any. I want to go to, and if I just mouse over some of these, you guys are going to see what the data labels are. They're the actual numbers that can be kind of put in different places on the pie pieces. I want to go to the More Data Labels options here at the bottom, and I want to choose the percentage box. So currently I've got the value in. I am going to unclick the value, and I'm going to click on the percentage. I'm going to go back here. Let me try it again. So add chart elements, data labels, more options. Here we go. I'm going to click on percentage, and I'm going to click off of value. So I only want the percent to be here. Okay, step G, it says, then press Control B. So I press Control B, and it should have applied bold. But I didn't see anything change, so I'm going to go to my Home tab, and I'm going to make sure my bold button is pressed down, which mine is. I'm going to change the font size. So in my Home tab, I'm going to pull down the 9 and change it to 12. And then I'm going to go to my border of my chart, which is just the outside edge, and I'm going to click to deselect all of these data labels. It says click the Shape Outline button. So I'm going to go to the Chart Tools Format tab, and in my Styles group, so here's my Shape Styles right here, I am going to choose the shape outline of purple accent 4, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom, darker 50%. Now, it doesn't look like anything happened, but I'm going to close down this panel on the right. Then I'm going to click off my chart. You guys are going to see you're going to have an outline around your chart. And if you looked at this really close, it would be a purple outline. Step L says click back on your chart, Chart Tools Format, and go back to your shape outline and choose the weight of your line at 1 point, which just puts a thicker purple line. Then it says click any other box, cell on your worksheet to click off the chart. So this is how our chart should end up looking. Step 8, it tells me to create a line chart. So I'm going to go to my Atlanta Revenue tab, and then I'm going to select A4 through E7. So here's A4, and then I'm going to go over to E7, which is Department through 200. So I want to make a chart that has this. Now, when I do this, it tells me I'm going to put the chart in. I could go to my Insert tab and put the chart in, but when I select a range in Excel, this tiny little button pops up. This is called the Quick Analysis button. I'm going to click on Quick Analysis, and I am going to choose the Chart section. I am going to pick a line chart, which is here, and I can see that the line chart shows up kind of overlapping the data. I am going to move this chart. So in my Chart Tools Design tab, I am going to choose my Move Chart button. Instead of this overlapping my data, I want to put a new tab at the bottom that has this chart. So I'm going to click the New Sheet button, and I'm going to give this the name of Promo Departments. And then I'm going to click OK. So now I can see I've got 3 tabs at the bottom, and Promo Departs is the graph that I just put in. Step 9, it says click on my Quick Layout button. So currently I've got a line. I am going to go over here, a line chart, my Chart Tools Design, and I'm going to go to my Quick Layouts. These are some pre-made charts that you can use. I'm going to pick Layout 5, which looks like this, and it's got the legend on the bottom. Step 10, it says change the chart type. So I'm going to go to my Chart Tools Design tab, and I'm going to choose my change chart type. Make sure your All Charts tab is open, and I want to keep it a line chart, but I want there to be markers that are put in. So markers are these dots that we put in that kind of show the different angles of the line. So I'm going to click on that one and then click OK. So my chart changes, so now it's got little dots on it. Step 11, it says click the chart title placeholder. It says chart title right here, so I'm going to click on it. Well, I'm going to highlight what's in this box here, and I'm going to put in a new title that says Special Promotion Departments. And then I'm going to press Enter. No, I'm not. I am going to delete that enter, and I'm just going to click anywhere off on the chart to deselect the title. All right, step C, it says select the vertical axis title placeholder. So this takes you back to math class. Vertical is up and down. So my vertical axis is dollars, and my horizontal axis is this line right here. Well, I can see my vertical axis title is right here. I click on it, and then I'm just going to highlight everything that's in the box, and I am going to type in dollar sales, and then I'm going to click off of my title to deselect the title. Step F says choose series apparel to select line. So series apparel is this blue line. So I'm just going to kind of click on this blue line, and I can see that the bubbles get put in around this line. Step H, it says click the fill line button on the task pane. So fill line. So I'm going to go to my Format Chart Tools. Oh, I'm sorry. I am going to double click on this line. or anywhere on the chart to open this up again, this panel on the right. Now click back on your blue line, okay? And now you are going to choose the format selection button. I'm going to go to my fill and line, which is the paint bucket. And then I am going to go to my marker. So I'm going to scroll down through. I've got my line option here and my marker option here, and I'm at the top. Click on the marker option and then choose the built-in option and select 10 point. So the built-in option. Here is, I opened my marker option, built in, and the size, I'm going to make it 10. So I'm just making these dots bigger. And then I'm going to scroll down, or I'm not even going to scroll down. I just take a look at my dots. Sure enough, the blue line is bigger. Step K says, select the baseball series. Baseball is the red line, so I'm going to click on the red line. So I select it, and now I'm clicked off on the blue. It tells me to go to my marker options, which make sure you're on marker in the paint bucket options, built in, and the size is 10. So your dots should get bigger. And then last, you're going to select the basketball, which is the green line. Marker options, built in, 10. Step N says close your task pane, which just hit the X. You ever want to open it up again, just double click anywhere in the chart and it will open up again. So I'm going to flip over. Step 12, it says insert spark lines. So I am going to click on the Atlanta revenue. So I'm done with this promo department's line chart. I'm going to click back on Atlanta revenue. Step B says right click the column heading F. So I'm going to go up here and put my mouse over the letter F. And then I'm going to right click with my mouse and choose insert. This is going to insert a column here. And it tells me that I want to select cell B5 through E18. So B5 through E18, which is all of the numbers, not the totals. Step D says, in your Insert tab, choose your spark line option. Now you've got a whole category that is spark lines. I am going to choose the line option here. Now it asks me, where do I want to put this spark line? So the data is based on all of the data that you highlighted. I'm going to move this over. I want to put this in F5 through F18. So I'm just going to highlight F5 through F18. So your data should be B5 through E18, and your location should be F5 through F18. Click OK. Now what you guys are going to see is there is a tiny little chart in each of these boxes. And if we just look at apparel, week 1 was 235, week 2 was a little bit higher. I can see that the line went up a little bit. Week 3 was a lot lower, and week 4 was really high. So what this spark line did is it just put in a little chart that kind of showed the trend of what was happening. Step 13, it says click on your format button. So I'm going to highlight all of my spark lines, and I'm going to click the Home tab and my cells group, and I'm going to pull down the Format button, and I'm going to choose row height. So I'm going to change my row height here to 24, and this is going to be all of the rows that have these spark lines changed. And then I'm going to choose the cells group again, and your column width. So I'm going to go to my format button, column width, just for the spark lines is going to be 35. That's going to make this little graph a little bit bigger. Step C, it says in your show group in the Sparkline Tools Design tab, Sparkline Tools Design, in the show group, make sure you are showing the markers. These are the points where the angles change. And step D, it says click the Sparkline color button. So if I go to the style group, here's the Sparkline color, and I want to change the Sparkline color to black text 1. And now I'm just going to click off of these lines by clicking on cell A1. So A1 is right here. I'm just going to click off my Sparklines. Next, last thing that you have to do before you save is to change your page orientation. So I'm going to go to my page layout tab, and right here is my orientation button. Currently, it's in portrait orientation, so if I printed it out, it would be taller than it is wide. I'm going to change it to landscape, so it's going to be wider than it is tall. As soon as you make that change, save it, and then upload it to Classroom. I should say upload it to SimNet and get your grade. Again, we've got 2 tries to do this, so if you're not happy with your grade, go ahead and do it over again.